Hola amigos, welcome to Pound Roundup episode 6. This is Foxy, our youngest, no, she's the oldest now actually. Our older collie, Mabel, she is a border collie, but she's a bit small, but she's a border collie crossed with a Australian Shepherd, and she's been in a shop dog today. She doesn't really like it here, but we're trying to get her. Well, I'm trying to get used to the dogs being in the workshop with me because, yeah, it's nice to have them around and everyone likes them. Who doesn't like a dog? So Bert is indoors with George today. So, but yeah, she wants to go home, so we're going to do this and we're going to get out. You're going to go back to your bed? Yeah. But she does love a cuddle. Go. And you go. Yeah, so that's Foxy. She's off to her bed now. No, she's not. She's off to go and find a ball. You got your ball? Bring it here then. Bring it here then. Get it. Here she comes. She's back. Got it. Don't crash into the camera. Anyway. Sprite roundup. Sprite up. Sprite was 7 up, wasn't it? Squirrels. So, episode 6. Crash. Episode 6, Pound Roundup. What has happened this week at the Pounds? This week at the Pounds. You can get that. She's going to go full howling in a minute. No more now. What have I started? What have I started? Yeah, episode 6, roundup. What's been happening? Day in the life. Busy week. A busy week at the Pounds, but we won't go into that. Sat here. For the Sprite as well, it's been good progress. The engine and box are all fully bolted in now. After being at odds with it last week, we've actually sort of settled into ourselves now. So yeah, that is in fully bolted in. She's stalking me now. She's doing proper border collie stuff behind the camera. I'm not a sheep. I may be Welsh, but I'm not a sheep. You can't herd me. Yeah, so we've got engine and boxes back in, start motors in, alternators in, belts on, tensioned. If you can see the shake, it's because she's underneath it with the ball. Mate, what are you doing? Not there. Not there. I'm going to have to confiscate it now. So yeah, so it's starting to look more like a car. So yeah, start motor, alternator's back on, gearbox mounts back on, gear sticks back in it, sump is on it fully, the pickup pipe is on it, because we had to have a bit of a play around with what sump and what pickup pipe and that sort of jazz we was going to use. I've messed around with the routing for the alternator cable because the story was that when Mark first contacted me about this car, it was just to come and do some hard wiring and have a look at welding some reinforcements in. It was as soon as I started digging into doing the hard wiring that from there I realised that everything was hitting everything and that actually it needed a new direction, so to speak, as to where we was going with it. From then on, it sort of escalated a little bit, and yeah, the project has evolved, we should say, into a bit more than I originally thought it was going to be. No ball. yeah, so we've had decent progress this week. I'm just at the point now of trying to figure out where the exhaust, or what we're doing exhaust wise. We was using a Mondeo exhaust, no, not Mondeo, a Focus manifold. And get some water. We was going to be using a Focus manifold, but then we changed the water rail to one that runs from the standard conventional Z-Tech housing to now one that runs on the side of the head. But the problem with that is that runs directly in way of where the Focus manifold goes, so that's not an option if we're going to use that. So I've gone through my pile of bits that I've got tucked away to go through some different Z-Tech options. I had a 2 litre blacktop Mondeo manifold that doesn't fit in the hole but would have had a better downpipe to zone. I also had an XR3i manifold, but that fails on the engine mount if you want to use the original setup. If you're wait there. If you know about how the seal the top setups were, it was a cast manifold that went onto like a sprung loaded downpipe that has like a conical mesh gasket, I suppose is the word, which doesn't really, it's not what you think of as a conventional gasket. So that was how they originally were, but they have big ears come off the side of it, even bigger than mine, that are then sprung loaded on to allow for movement with the engine and stuff, so it doesn't crack the downpipe or the manifold. But then the studs for them were hitting, so we can't really use that. So what I've done is I've welded just a couple of tacks, or a bit more than a couple of tacks, welded a couple of bits, the downpipe to the manifold, and cut it off and sort of use some sections of bends to then exit where we need to exit. I've literally just finished doing that now, so Mark's not seen it yet. I'm going to send him a picture, see if he's happy with it, see if it's going to be a viable option, and yeah, see how we go with that. I think it's the play, but I'm not 100% yet, but I do think it's going to be the way forwards, aside from going for a proper 4 branch where we'll exit it underneath. But then even then we have the issue with, if it's a 421 manifold, it's trying to get the space because there's going to be loads of room underneath. But we shall cross that bridge when we get to it. Hopefully I think Mark will be happy with this, and then we can cross that off the list of another thing that's done. What else, Foxy? What else has happened? What else has happened on the Sprite? She don't know, she's a dog. Even though she's smarter than most people I know, I think. Well, most people around here anyway. Yeah, so that's that for that. I should be wiring in the Nodis ECU and stuff today, but my brain's not quite there, is it, Foxy? My brain's not quite there today. You're potentially smarter than I am today. So yeah, I'm not feeling it. You got to have your head in the right place for doing wiring stuff. My head is not there. So yeah, I think that concludes Sprite progress. We'll move on to Project Lockdown. She's dropped the ball somewhere where it shouldn't be, and now she can't. She's pretending she can't get it. What is it, Foxy? She don't know that either. What's the matter, Foxy? Tell me. Tell me then. Tell me. You can get that. You can get that. She's a funny old dog. Yeah, so that rounds up Sprite for this... Sorry. Right, that rounds up Sprite for this week. I'm going to go get a ball back and we'll move over to lockdown. So then, at the back of lockdown, each week I try and think of creative ways to bullshit about how I've done nothing on Sprite. Hey Foxy, you back? Right. Yeah, we try and bullshit about how we've been really super productive on Sprite on lockdown, but I haven't. So I will do a bit on what I have done, and then yawn. You got again, and then we'll move on with our lives. So what I have done is I have ventured upstairs, turned the fire alarm off, changed the batteries in it. So if you haven't noticed its absence, there has been no beeping today, which is a massive improvement, obviously, for everyone's viewing quality. So yeah, so I've been up there, changed the batteries in the fire. Why do I keep saying fire extinguisher? In the smoke alarm, and I also got down the framework, which I shall sit down and finish because I don't know if I'm in the screen or not. I got down the framework that we made when we did the initial chassis work of this, so I shall go and get it to show you. So what this does is it bolts onto the top wing rails where the crash panel goes. This then bolts onto where the crash panel goes. Crash panel? So this is the top slam panel. This is for the crash structure. So it bolts onto there on the front of the chassis rails and then holds it up at working height. I built this so that I could have full access underneath the car and I could get to all the subframe mountings, because if you haven't watched it, might be worth going back and watching it, because it gives you some of the history on lockdown and gives you something to watch whilst I'm not doing anything on it. So it gives you a bit of lockdown history. What we did was we had it on this. I made a jig off the front suspension, so then I could put all that jig work and all the data from the front directly into the back. Hey Foxy. So then we knew we had all the subframe position was right to where the turrets needed to be, and we could centre everything off of the centre of the wheel arches. Obviously to do that I needed full access underneath the car, so this was perfect. Going forward though, it's also really nice to have it on this because it's really safe to work on, so I can have it on this and I can have a couple of axle stands underneath the back of it. And it's held solid and all the wheels can be off the floor and you've got the best working access underneath it. So yeah, yeah, so we've got the best working access underneath it. She's crying in the background of the day, you can hear that. She's probably to a ball somewhere. And that one's. What's the matter, Foxy? You go get it. Yeah, so we're going to put it back onto this and we'll hopefully Sprite will be off its stand soon, so we can put that underneath the back of it and it can be fully up in the air and save mine and Nate's back when we're working on it. No? No, she's off again. Yeah, aside from Sprite, this week has been a busy week, but just with like the general repair side of the business, had a load of jobs through this week to try and get in alongside it, so I feel like the balance has been pretty good this week, between earning money and stuff on the sprite. You always need a bit of balance in life, don't you? So hopefully we'll achieve. Mate, what? What's the matter, Foxy? Where is it? She's gone silent now. She's giving me this cold shoulder. Yeah, so you always need a bit of balance with this sort of stuff, and let me go and get it. Come in, up here, up here, up here. Come on in, come up here. So, yeah, struck a balance of getting normal day-to-day work done and helping a couple of people out. Only so pretty. Oh. Obviously, my day off last Sunday has done the world of good because I'm fully refreshed. Yeah, it was nice yesterday. I had boy George in with me, helped me do some bits, helped me do some work, didn't he? George come and helped. George was doing some work. Phoenix is in front of me now, so I've just put it on the spoiler. It's gone. It's gone. It's gone. Yeah, so it's been a bit of a busy week here. Lots happens. Not a lot on lockdown, but something. Phoenix is just sat there, obviously minding its business. Had a dust off. We had a meeting with a guy, a business who is going to help us out with some other projects inside the building, which was cool. I won't name him because he doesn't want to be named, which is another quite cool thing. He's just he's seen what we're trying to do and trying to achieve and wants to be part of that, but he doesn't want any recognition for it, which is quite nice. That it's a completely selfless act. But I don't think what he's offered to do, I don't think will be the last. Hopefully he'll be attending Breakfast Club this month, because it's 2nd of March today. So yeah, what I'm going to do now is I think I'm going to go into what we deem as the classroom and just do an outro there and talk about breakfast. Because we would never really go for a walk around in here, I think what I'll do is I'll take the walk out from the unit. So there's a couple of ways around. We've got this here. This is Alfie's office. Scooch around this way and it can show like the actual workspace a little bit better. So, hey Foxy, where are we going? So yeah, this shows the workspace a little bit better. So you can see as we come through. Oh yeah, moved mine and Graham's pictures out here. This is potentially going to be my rogues gallery wall. Walk down, camera stand. So yeah, mine and George's office, which is a bit of a mess. Corridor, well, this is a office space. Corridor. Kitchen. And this is our main classroom space, so that we hire out for people to use. So what I'm going to do is we're going to casting couch and carry on from here. So yeah, this is the classroom and where we meet for Breakfast Club. So I feel like it's a nice space. It's quite welcoming, homely. That's how we sort of kitted it out to try and make it feel like that. Yeah, I think it's turned out nice. Anyway, Breakfast Club. This is where we meet. Obviously, come in, grab your coffee, grab your sausage or a roll. Loads of parking out the front, so it sort of migrates. I normally put some ink or a couple of my bits out the front as well. We could do it out the back, but I feel like this is a nicer space to do it in. Plenty of seating if you want to sit down. I'm proper handsy today. Yeah, this is it. So I think I spoke about it in the last one, the one before, or I can't think when the last Breakfast Club meet was, but we're planning our next one, which is the 16th of the month. If you want any information about that, comment below, or you can additionally come and find us on Instagram. So you can follow our page, which is Stitch Motorsport, or you can follow the project page, which is Project 626. 626 is a play on words. Well, not a play on words. It's a bit of a in-joke. If you know Disney, the film Lilo and Stitch, Stitch is code name was 626. So it's a bit of a play on it. I couldn't think of a name to call it when I wanted to start it. So you can go well into all different names and it all gets a bit long-winded, a bit tongue-tied. So I didn't want any of that. I wanted something short, concise, and to not even to the point really. It's just a code name for what we're doing. So yeah, Project 626, go and follow us there. 626 is more than just our Breakfast Club meets and what we want to do around men's mental health and our men's community. It also will encompass work that I want to do working with teens and young adults. Well, I suppose not even just teens, sort of secondary school ages and up to young adults, and maybe moving forwards even older than that. But yeah, that's the main focus at the moment. So yeah, if you want to know any information about what we're doing with 626, drop us a follow there and on our Stitch Motorsport page as well, and you'll see what I'm doing on a bit more of a as it happens sort of frequency. But yeah, if you're interested in Breakfast Club, I think we've gone through the spiel before, but it's just a group of guys from all different walks of life with a similar interest in either cars, motorbikes, boats, tractors, engineering, anything like that. And the car side of stuff is everything car related. So from show cars to, obviously we have our full out race car out there some days. So wherever your interest is inside that car sphere, you know, you're welcome here. Even if you haven't got a car, but you just have an interest in cars and motorsport and engineering, do come down. There is no pressure. You don't need to bring something to come and be in, to be part of what we're building here. This is a community, a safe space for men and for men's mental health. The main thing is it just has that shared interest, I suppose is the best word. We have a shared interest in engineering and cool stuff, things with wheels, or not, even if you like traction engines, fine, I think they're cool too. So yeah, if you want to know any more information about that, just drop me a message, drop me a comment, I'll get back to you, I'll explain what we're doing, and yeah, I think that's it. That's enough for me and my random ramblings, and we will see you again next week with hopefully a sprite that starts. Wouldn't that be nice? A running sprite, running driving sprite. Who knows? Wish me luck. I'm out.